Hi guys, in this video I will be exploring the tools and the techniques to effectively back up a Linux server on DigitalOcean or any other cloud provider and restore it to another server. Most cloud providers provide some tools for managing your droplets or VM depending on the case, but when it comes to backing up, restoring and migrating to a different server, you will need some additional tooling, and that's what we are about to discuss today. Welcome everyone, I'm Dr. Tobe, and today I'll be diving into how to back up a Linux server in the cloud. Whether you are moving to a new hosting provider or setting up a disaster recovery plan, I will guide you through the step and the entire process. I'll be making use of servers on DigitalOcean, but mind you, the method I will be teaching you in this tutorial is universal and is applicable to any cloud provider, whether AWS, Linux, GCP, Azure, anyone is applicable, it's universal. So just keep that in mind and you can replicate it on any server you want. So the tools that we are going to be using for this backup exercise is called rsync. Rsync is a powerful utility for transferring and synchronizing files between local and remote systems. It's widely used in Unix-like operating systems and is known for its efficiency, particularly due to its data transfer algorithm, which only transfers the difference between the source and destination files. This feature significantly reduces the amount of data that needs to be sent over the network, making rsync an ideal choice for backups and mirroring tasks. Some of the notable features of rsync are incremental file transfer. rsync will only copy the part of the file that have changed, minimizing data transfer, and that's a huge one right there, especially when you have a lot of data to be copied over. You wouldn't want to be copying all the data every time. You only want to copy a subset of data that have changed over time, and that's one of the best advantages of using rsync. Another advantage of using rsync is that it has a very versatile protocol support. It supports SSH, RSH, and it even has its own rsync protocol, which allows for secure and efficient data transfer. rsync can preserve file permission, timestamp, symbolic link, and other attributes during file transfer, which is very good, especially when you want to replicate your system and you have some file that you don't want to change the modified date or some kind of attribute. So it's a very good one. File attribute preservation. It has a very good compression algorithm. It can compress data during file transfer, which further reduces bandwidth usage using algorithms such as zstandard, SZ4, or zlib. You can run rsync in demo mode, which allows you to save files over the network using rsync protocol. So let's get started to setting up, backup, migration, and restoring of data using rsync. So the first thing you want to do is to have the server you want to back up in place. So for this demo, I will be using a droplet on DigitalOcean. If you need help on how to do this, I have a video on my playlist where I went through all the different steps of how to create a server in the cloud, whether using DigitalOcean or other cloud provider. So I will drop a link in the description. Go and check it out. So the next thing you want to do is to install rsync. So with sudo apt install, or depending on the Linux distro you are using. But for this, I'm using an Ubuntu distro, so I'll be using apt. So sudo apt install rsync. And once that's done, I'll create a directory where I will store the backup file. Then I will run this command to create the backup. So you can see the backup has been created, and this is the content of the backup. So what is next now is to find a way to transfer the backup to the machine that we want to restore to, or to save it somewhere. So in a bit to transfer the file to wherever you want it to go, you might want to zip it or tie it in this case. So because I'm using a Linux system, I can easily use tar to tie the file so that it will compress it and make it easier to transfer. So now let me demonstrate how to directly transfer to another machine, maybe your restore machine. If you are doing a migration process, so you want to back up from one machine, transfer to another machine. So in this case, I will be using AWS as an example. So I will create an instance on AWS. So once I create an EC2 instance on AWS, I will transfer what I have on my DigitalOcean droplet to the AWS. So I will just quickly run through it. If you don't know how to do this, you can check out my other video on how to set up a server from scratch. So once I get hold of the restore machine, I'm going to log into it and create an SSH key if it doesn't have one. Once I do that, then I'll copy the public key to the backup machine because I will be using SCP to copy the file over. Because I'm doing a direct transfer from the backup machine to the restore machine, so I will copy the SSH public key from the restore machine to the authorized keys in backup machine so that I can connect to it using SSH. Once I do that, I can use SCP to copy the file over. Once I copy the file over, then I can create a directory called restore on the restore machine. Then I untar the file inside the restore folder, inside the restore directory. So once I untie that, and that's it. So we have successfully backed up our system from one machine to another. You can see that all the files are correctly in place with the right content. So this is a successful one. Before we go to the last step, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And please turn on your notification to get notified when I drop a new video. So thank you. So our last step will be to reboot the system. So once we reboot, everything will be fine and we can start using our system as intended. So bye. Peace.